Hi, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Sbm podcast. Today I got my co-host with me.
Your bro Ali, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you for coming, watching, tuning in.
And we have a special guest with us today. I'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah, my name is Shalom. I'm about to graduate here from the U of M. I study accounting and finance. And yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yes, sir. So Shalom, let us know a little bit more about your college career so far. From our understanding, you're the president of Naba. Can you explain what Naba does a little bit more on campus?
Yeah, for sure. And just quick correction too. Actually, my term ended as president
Okay.
last night. So
Okay.
that was my last night. We had our annual gala at the end of the year, so it was just a big celebration of everything. But pretty much NABA stands for the National Association of Black Accountants, and what we do is we're the only Black student business org at Carlson, and so we're really, even though accounting is in our name, we've really developed over time to just be to serve all students who are interested in something business related. So we do networking, we do professional development. It's just really a strong community. So yeah, we do a lot of things.
Okay. So I have a question about Naba. Is Naba only open to Carlson students?
No, it's not. So it's a Carlson affiliated org, but we have students coming from all different backgrounds and majors. And like I said, like there's no business that is only has business majors in it. You have people from all different backgrounds, and so that's why we really stress that point of like, if you're interested in something that we're doing, don't let the Carlson affiliation, deter you from coming. So, yeah.
So how can people find more information about Naba?
I mean, first word of mouth, I would say first and foremost, but then also we have an Instagram, UMN Naba, so UMN NABA. If you follow our Instagram, that's where we're most active at. We also have a Discord that we're getting going, and then a mailing list as well. But I would just say the Instagram is the best place to get information.
So yeah, you guys go follow them on Instagram at UMN Naba. That's NABA. If you guys want to learn more information about them, Jabril, what do you got? What questions do you have for our brother here?
Okay, so me and Shalom were talking a little bit about this off camera, and I would love to, continue it on camera about the difference between joining a student organization for your purpose and like the big reason about why you joined versus staying a little bit afterwards, maybe after you fulfilled what you wanted to do after you joined it, maybe for incoming freshmen, people that maybe you're mentoring in the program. For yourself, Shalom, how did you find the balance of, okay, maybe you had a first reason, you could talk a little bit about that, the
Yeah.
reason that you joined, that reason and that purpose of why you joined NABA and the student organization that you're involved with now versus fulfilling that purpose as the years went on, maybe after your first year, and maybe continuing to have to find a new purpose after maybe you join for like networking or something like that and being able to fulfill that, but just continuing to find new purpose to continue to be involved in the organization, but also how was it finding things past that, maybe like mentorship and things like that for people beyond you and beyond yourself, in that organization?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like that's a challenge too for anybody who's entering their senior year. You kind of go through that debate because you're like, I've done a lot of work already up until this point, and your senior year, you just want to enjoy it and chill. But I guess, stepping back a little bit, the reason why I joined NABA was because so I started college in 2020, like during the pandemic, and I didn't really have a sense of community just being virtual, and also, the one in person class I did have, I think I was the only Black student in there really. So I just kind of, what you were saying earlier, Jabril, I just kind of went to class, came home. Like had two jobs at the time, so I was just stacking money and doing class, and that was about it. And I knew there was a lot more to college than that. So like talking with my academic advisor, he was like, "You should join NABA. Since you're an accounting background, you're Black. Like you should just check it out." So I went to a meeting, and Nate Tay, the former president, he kind of just told me about the stuff that they were working on. He was like actually recommended that I run for the board my sophomore year, and that's how I got involved. So I really just got involved to get a sense of community and network. I knew internships were important, so that was like a resource for that. Fast forward like my junior year, like I'm in a pretty good spot. I have internships lined up. I have a great sense of community. Everything went as planned for now, but like I had a great time. And sorry, just continuing on that, like so going into my senior year, it's like I benefited everything that I wanted to get out of NABA, but then also I felt a like responsibility of now I have to pay it forward. And our mission is lifting as we climb. So it's like a lot of people lifted me up to get me through like difficult situations and get me to where I wanted to be. So it felt natural for me to stay on board and ensure that the organization continues so other people could experience the same thing. Yeah.
Do you feel like that's something that developed over time as you fell more in love with the organization, or do you feel like maybe that's something that you had from the jump that, hey, I'm gonna join this organization. It's gonna look great on the resume. This is great work experience, and I'm gonna try to follow it through and through. Do you feel like it was something that developed over time, or just something that you knew from the very beginning? I'm just gonna see this through for as long as I can.
Yeah. No, I mean, like on a personal basis, I really do believe in service and like giving back to your community and volunteering and stuff. And I did that a lot throughout high school. So, um, in that sense, I knew I wanted to serve. But it's weird saying that because with NAB, I never feel like I'm serving. Like even though it's a volunteer role, it's just fun. Like I just like what we do. So I don't know. I guess it just came natural. I never thought I was gonna be president when I joined. I was just like, this is a great resource. But you spend so much time at a place, and then you just kind of naturally start becoming a leader in it, and that's how it happened. Yeah.
How do you feel like your involvement is going to evolve post graduation? I know you said your term as president finally ended.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to your new president, Isaac.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be great, by the way. Shout out Isaac. How do you think that involvement is? Do you think you're going to take maybe like a little bit of an advisor position, or just kind of like let the new president, the new org kind of just do their thing, and maybe if they got questions on the side? How do you feel like your involvement is going to evolve? You know, being a graduate of the program.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
No, I think it was funny. I was joking about this with Isaac last night. Like, as you move out of your leadership role to another board, it's like you're handing over the reins. But I felt like this new board, they kind of took the reins. Like they were ready to go. They already had their own initiatives and what they wanted to do. So I have no lack of confidence for the board and what they're doing. I think my main role is now I'm going to be in a professional setting. So if there's people who want to do real estate, they want to do something in finance, or they want to move to New York, they want advice on that, like just being that resource and just making sure my name is still out there so people know, like, oh, I'm interested in this. Let me hit up Shalom. Or I know Shalom knows these people. Let me hit, like, so just being a resource for people. That's pretty much my goal moving forward.
Do we see a Shalom Witherspoon scholarship in the future?
Shalom Witherspoon scholarship, yeah. I've had a lot of great scholarships from great organizations or individuals, and like I said, I believe in giving back. So I definitely see that down the line. Right now,
You guys
it's
heard
not in
that?
the budget, but
Make a budget for it. So one question I have for you is how or what would you tell other minority students that are going to be in a similar situation that you were in when you
yeah,
came in as like a freshman?
yeah. I think I don't know. I think it depends on your background and where your family comes from. But I feel like what I've experienced and heard from a lot of other minority students is we've been taught our whole lives that, like, let your work speak for yourself. Just grind, put your head down, and people will notice your work. But I think in the business setting, it's also very important to have those connections with people who are going to advocate for you in rooms that you're not in, like behind closed doors. And so to do that, you have to be involved. Like people have to know who you are. And so I'm not going to debate whether that's right or wrong, but that's just the reality of stuff. So if you want opportunities and doors to open up, of course, work hard, like put that time in, but also, let people know about you. And you can do that in a humble way too, I feel like, without feeling like you're bragging about yourself. And that was something that was difficult for me to kind of move into as well. But
That's really good advice.
personal brand.
I feel like me and you, Shalom, we did talk about this earlier. I feel like we should have recorded it earlier. It would have been like good bloopers too. But I feel like me and you, we had like very similar paths when it came to like getting involved in student organizations like after freshman year. For advice for like freshmen coming in who, because I know like some people, they get involved right away and then that's kind of their experience all throughout college and they don't have that time to themselves and she'll know what it's like away from being involved and being amongst their peers maybe until like their senior year when they decide they finally want to chill out. As for like what you've experienced and like similar to me getting involved like around my sophomore year, what do you think is like a better experience and what would you recommend to freshmen moving forward based on from what you've seen from people who get involved right away, from guys like me and you who took a year?
Yeah.
Do you think it's better to kind of settle in that first year and just test the waters and not necessarily do too much, or do you feel like maybe the best thing is just to dive in right away and just see what you like and see what comes of that?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on your process and how you do things. Like I'm more of a hands-on learner, and I like to experiment with stuff. So I know I'm gonna have to touch a lot of like different student groups or attend a lot of different events to figure out what I like and what I don't like. If you come into college and you know exactly what you want to do, and you're just one of those students, go ahead and follow that. Like I'm not trying to move people off their own path that they have laid out. But I think a lot of people coming to college having maybe a rough idea or maybe no idea, and instead of sitting in your dorm or just like chilling and letting opportunities come to you, like you kind of have to put yourself out there and experience what you can get. Yeah,
So we understand that you're a finance and accounting major, right?
that's right.
So what or how would you navigate financial? What advice would you give to students who are gonna have those financial hardships throughout college?
That's a good question. What advice? I would just say, try. You're probably better at answering this question, but I would just say just try to track your spending, really understand the student loan. If you have to take out student loans, what you're taking out, what the interest rate is on it, have a plan of how you want to pay it back. And then really dive into scholarships. Like the scholarship world is huge, and people think it's like if I think there's this website called Niche or something like that, and they have a bunch of scholarships, but it'll be like 50,000 people applying to each one of those. So I'm a numbers guy, so realistically, it's gonna be tough for you to get that scholarship. So being involved in different communities around campus and like in the city, you're gonna get smaller scholarships where there's only 10 people applying, 5 people. Like you might be the only person applying to that. So just being on the search for scholarships is gonna take care of some of those costs too. But you can also do a part-time job. I've done all three of those. So
And I think internships are a really good way to save money in the summer as well.
hmm
So starting out even as a freshman, just trying to find an internship could be a really good way for you to start, building some capital.
hmm
If you're like, yeah, sure, bro.
How do you feel about the balance of being in student orgs, having a full academic load, um, working those part-time jobs, looking for internships? Do you feel like, again, I know different people have different paths, but do you feel like everyone should kind of try to find that balance of work and school, or do you think that maybe if you could do it differently, you would focus more on school and just finding those internships? And then talking about the internships, how do you recommend going about finding those networking? Are you more of like a career fairs type of guy? Do you like to maybe rely on people to recommend you? Can you talk to us just a little bit about that work life balance between school and work, and then like finding internships too?
yeah, yeah. I mean that's good stuff. And I think for me, like I don't. I wouldn't say I'm a very fearful person. Like I'm afraid. I'm not afraid to take risks. But one thing I am afraid of is having the feeling of regret. And I've definitely had that points in my life. And I can say when I am doing multiple different things, like that's benefiting my career, but also benefiting my personal life. My personal growth and all that. Those moments in my life where it's like months and months where I'm just locked into that. I have no regret. After like looking back at my college career, I have no regret. I got to travel. I got to have fun. I got to get the job that I want. Like all those things. So I think if once again, if you're one of those people who just wants to do one thing very well, then just do that. That's what's fulfilling. But I don't like feeling like I'm have regret, and to not have regret, I have to experience a lot of different things. You asked the second part of your question too, and I kind of
The balance between being a college student with a full academic calendar,
oh yeah.
but also balancing a job on the side. How would you recommend kids going about that? I know I didn't start doing that until like my junior year. My first 2 years, it was just focused on school.
Yeah.
What is kind of your experience behind that, and like what would you recommend based on your experience with just the job balance, but also with school?
Yeah, I think it comes down to really like optimizing too and prioritizing what's most important to you. If you have a job on the side that's maybe not relevant to what you're going to do long term, and you have to call in sick so you can study for an exam, like that might be a good decision. But if it's a job that's setting you up for a career, you might have to like make them sacrifices that you can do both at the same time. So, and then on the flip side too, like if your GPA is where you need it to be, and I'm never gonna condone skipping class or anything like that. But you only have so much energy in the day, so like to be stressing out at 2 a.m. writing a paper for a class that isn't gonna change your GPA, it's like I don't know. I'm not gonna advocate for that, but I think it's just
That's a really good
prioritizing.
point. That's a really good point.
Oh, whoa, my fault, my fault.
No, yeah,
Side note, speaking about part-time jobs, the first time I actually met Shalom's parents, both of them was working like one of my part-time jobs. For those of you who don't know, I work valet, and one of the events that I was working, I got the chance to meet Shalom's dad and his mother. Shout out to Mr. and Mrs.
Witherspoon, yeah,
Witherspoon or Witherspoon.
Witherspoon, yeah.
Shout out to y'all, beautiful family, by the way, bro.
That's a
Great
crazy
meeting you
connection.
guys. I had to throw that in.
All right, so you mentioned real estate, and that's the career path that you're taking as you graduate. What led you into real estate? What is something that really intrigues you about the space?
Yeah, I would just say like growing up in Northeast Minneapolis, it's been kind of, at least from what I noticed, it was kind of the same thing year to year.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Like the community was changing, I guess, as people wise, but like the actual layout of it wasn't really changing. And then I would say over the past like 5 to 6 years, right before the pandemic and then through the pandemic, like I started seeing a bunch of apartment buildings just going
Yeah.
up left and right.
Right.
And I knew I wanted to invest in real estate, but I didn't know that could be a career for real. And so I interned with a developer, and he actually has a few projects in Northeast Minneapolis. And I'm just like, I like what the work he was doing, but I also recognize like as a community, if we don't own, our homes or own plots of land so that we can develop it in the way we want to develop it, then that's how gentrification happens. I mean, and there's other parts of it too where you have like people in legislators' pockets and whatever manipulating in that sense. So I can't control everything, but I just knew like if I don't own parts of my community, it's gonna change in a way that I might not, agree with. So that was kind of the forefront of it, and also just not feeling like I wanted to work my whole life and having the freedom to travel and do what I want to do on my own time, having passive income. So there's a lot of different, components to it. But
yeah, I really like the Northeast area. It's a really cool area.
it's going up.
I like the housing over there, apartments, everything that's going on there. They got a lot of cool little food spots too.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should definitely check it out if you guys are within the cities. It's like a forgotten wonder of Minneapolis, in my opinion. I like it though.
That's what I'm saying. Central, like, so I grew up right pretty much along Central Street, and it's like all on that strip you have
gatekeep.
Just know it's high quality restaurants all in there. I'll just say that.
So touching on a little bit more about the real estate, did you know you were going to do real estate like as soon as you came in? Was that one of your bigger interests because of the ties to your community, or because you were going straight into Carlson? Was it kind of, I'm going to explore accounting and finance, and kind of real estate just appeared on your path for you?
Yeah, real estate was always the long-term goal.
Okay.
And my original plan coming in was like, I'm going to do something in the financial services. So I was thinking accounting, because that's what was kind of recommended to me from my mentor that was in real estate. He's like, you can't go wrong with accounting. So I'm like, I'm full on with accounting, and that's why I had accounting and finance, because I wanted to be a certified public accountant. I'm like, I'm gonna do that for 10 years, save up as much money as I can, and then pretty much do what I want to do. And then as I started to explore more, I didn't realize like a lot of people think this, and I thought this too. Like I thought real estate, it was either you owned it or you were selling it, and that was it. Like you just are like a real estate agent or something like that. I didn't want to do that. So I started learning more and more about the career, and I realized like you can actually manage other people's portfolios for them, and that's what I'm going into, real estate portfolio management. And so it was a learning process along the way. So I always knew real estate, I just didn't know the exact route to get into it. Also, there isn't a real estate degree at the U of M, so that's why I had to supplement it with something else.
Do you see yourself obtaining your CPA in the future?
Nah.
What is a CPA?
It's like a certified public accountant. You have to get 150 credits, and then you have to take a bunch of exams too. And it's a really useful certification if you're going into public accounting. But it's
very difficult, isn't it? It says harder than the MCAT. Maybe read it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It says like
it is difficult. It is really difficult. Yeah.
It has a very low passing rate, actually.
But I think it's easier than the CFA, the Certified Financial Analyst.
Oh, really?
I think that one's a bit more difficult.
Which ones are most of the Carlson doing work on that?
CPA. CPA is really just that. That's like the only thing you can do.
I got the law.
Yeah, let me. Got dust all on my stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
Appreciate you.
So, what do you think? So, what are your future career aspirations? Do you see yourself working in portfolio management for the foreseeable future, or do you want to branch out and try new things?
Yeah, so I'm moving to New York actually by the end of this month. Thank you, to do real estate portfolio management. And I think I can see myself doing that for a decent amount of time, just because the team is specifically on apartment deals. The only thing is they don't invest in the Midwest, which is one thing I would like. But I think learning from them, like the company is great, the culture is great, and then
it's very important.
Yeah, they definitely have like a teaching model where they want to like ramp up younger analysts as fast as possible. Yeah. So I think just learning from them, like these are some of the brightest people in the industry. and then at a certain point, I think I have to make that jump to do it on my own.
Talking a little bit about you going to New York, how did that process kind of look for you? Were you the type of person who was doing those out of state internships to get connected? Were you meeting people here, and maybe experience that you got here lets you go into New York? Was it always a goal for you to get there in the first place, or was it just the company that you had the best connection with? That's where that destination was going to lead you in terms of the
Yeah,
office. Talk to us a little bit about your journey going out of state. Was that a goal for yours originally, and just like how that process was for you?
yeah.
You going to New York here in a little bit.
That was New York was never the goal, and I never only went to New York the first time I interned there. So this was in the summer of 2022. Yeah, this is me. This is after my sophomore year. That's when I had my first internship in New York, and like I had never been to New York. I've only seen stuff online. I'm like, I think it's dirty. It's gonna be too crowded. Like everything that people think of. A lot of people from the Midwest think of New York. So an opportunity came up actually through NABA because a former vice president that I was on the board with, Lauren Winston. She's at JP Morgan right now. But she said she did a program called Advancing Black Pathways. And for anybody who's a freshman or a sophomore, I definitely recommend checking it out. Feel free to hit me up. I can tell you more about it. But she recommended I do it. Kind of worked that network, applied, got into it, went out to New York for the summer. I just had a blast. I was out there for a month and a half, actually. I just had a blast. I was like, it's just too much to describe. That's a whole another podcast we can do about that. But just like the whole pace of the city and just like meeting people from all over the world. Like in my intern class, there's people from all over the country going to all types of schools. And I was like, okay, I can see myself out here for like the earlier part of my career. One thing led to the next, and I landed in real estate, and then got a full-time offer. So I got a real estate internship after my junior year, and then got a full-time offer from that company. So.
Wow, that's great. Congrats. So, do you see yourself staying out of New York, or do you kind of just take it year by year, lease by lease, and see wherever it leads you next?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I can see myself out there for a while, but it's also a very expensive place to live. So it's like I think unless if you have a lot of financial support from the people around you, I think you have to go with like a purpose and get what you need to get out of it, and then kind of move from there. So I think I'll probably be back most likely within 10 years, but we'll see.
How's that situation gonna look for you, by the way? Like moving there, are you gonna have like roommates set up? Are you finding like a small little spot and then just grinding it out, and until just stacking your bread? Like, how does that kind of look for you? Because boom, job is set up. You already kind of know the city,
Yeah.
Places to go and things like that. What's the living situation looking for you? Moving out there.
So I have two other roommates. So we're in a 3-bedroom apartment. I have two other roommates that I interned with actually at JP Morgan 2 years ago. One of them is going back. The other one's going. I think they're both going back to JP Morgan, or one might be going to Vanguard. I can't remember. But yeah, that's what I'm saying exactly. So it's like just being surrounded by them, learning from what they're doing different stuff, but just like learning what they're doing, and I can teach them what I'm doing. So we got a 3-bedroom apartment, and then my girlfriend, she landed an internship out there too. So she's doing marketing and data analytics for the summer. So that's kind of the plan. We really worked out with the solid apartment I'm happy with. So yeah.
Yeah. So we got about like 2 more minutes. We don't want to keep it too long. So a little bit more informal with these questions.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is your dream vacation spot?
Dream vacation spot.
Look at that airplane.
I don't know. Probably Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico?
I've already been there twice. I know.
You want to go back?
I just keep spending the. It's just so fun, man. How many countries have I been to? Maybe like 10. I think 10.
Yeah, you gotta pick it up. 10.
Man, just go to. You already been to Amsterdam, right?
Yeah, bro. I hit 3 last summer, but that was like my biggest trip. Like just like stacking things and stuff like that. So
You did Amsterdam, and you've
I
been
did.
to.
I did. I mean, when it comes to like 10, I'm nowhere close to 10. But like I did Amsterdam, I did Sweden, and I did Belgium last summer. I used to live in Somalia, and then obviously here in the States, and then I've been to Canada because I have family there. Yeah, 5 countries so far, and then you talk about yours because you guys travel way more. You guys have traveled way more.
You've been to 10. I have not been to 10. I don't. Let me see. I've been to Cancun, okay, Mexico, Barcelona, Togo, Ghana, Italy, France,
Wait, did you guys go to the same city in this?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went to,
At the same time?
Yeah, because he tell a story. Tell a story.
Talk
So
about it,
listen,
go ahead.
no, so I knew he was out there in Barcelona. And my friend was like, he kept on telling me like, let's go to Barcelona. I'm like, man, I don't want to spend money and all this, man. Go out there.
Shout out Noah. That's the real traveler.
No, Nora put me on the traveling, man. I appreciate it for that. No, he's not. He's not in that, but he's in the association. But yeah, shout out to Nora. But yeah, man, he kept telling me, man, let's do it, man, like relentlessly. So I'm like, you know what? Just do it. So I did it. I knew he was out there, so I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be out there for like a couple of days or a week or something.
He texted me like 3 or 4 days before he came out. He's like, yeah, I'm coming to Barcelona. I'm like, damn, like you couldn't.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, that was like my same bro. That was like my same process when I went to Amsterdam. I sent, cause I was doing like the buddy pass method. I had like a cousin that worked for like the airline, so she had like a couple. Literally, bro. So the thing is with like the buddy pass, I don't know if y'all know, but like you don't know like you're going on that flight until like they're like 10 minutes before like you're already headed out. So once I knew like I was actually boarding, I took a picture of like my ticket and I sent it to my cousin like in Amsterdam. I think the flight's like it has to be like over 8 hours. So like whatever that process was of me sending it to him, being on the flight and like waiting to get picked up at the airport right before I'm going on to like board the airplane, I'm like, yo, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Like randomly, and I lucked out that I landed there on like a weekend, so like he wasn't at the job and stuff. But like when I got to the airport and he was there, I got smacked in the back of my neck for that. So it was like. Bro, my cousin doesn't play that shit, but shout out cousin. But I've been there. I've been there.
But yeah, I mean, we had our own place and everything out there. I was just telling him because I knew he was out there for like a couple months, so you knew a little.
Yeah. No, I just felt bad because I'm like, if I would have known in advance, I would have tried to clear out classes or calling sick. But I'm like, we figured it out anyways. So I was like,
a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about? So you want to go back? You want to run it back to Puerto Rico?
Man, Puerto Rico just.
Really?
I'm more of a warm weather type person.
Do it, bro.
Spain's
don't
though.
regret it, bro.
Spain's
anywhere in Europe, bro. Europe,
Barcelona specifically.
Madrid. I've never been to Madrid. I want to go.
Madrid was cool.
Yeah.
Europe is a cheat code though, because you can just check off a lot of countries. Boom.
Hold on. Speaking about cheat codes, one of my friends is actually going to London, but instead of taking a flight from here, I think like the flight from here, like because it's like summer and stuff, it was supposed to be like 600, 300, something crazy. Not bad. He's going to Iceland for like 200, and then from Iceland he's got like a ticket.
Talking about Yahya?
No, not Yahya.
Okay.
Yahya's like, first of all, Yahya's like a whole other world traveler. That man's been everywhere. Shout out Yahya, bro. Like one of them.
That's a real traveler.
Crazy because he has like a whole like world tour set up this summer because he's graduating.
That's what I'm saying. He told me he was going to Iceland first, I think.
Oh wait.
Yeah, he's going.
I think that was Yahya. World tour. I think that was actually Yahya because bro, he's literally going to Iceland, and then he finessed his ticket because he's going from Iceland to there or like to the UK. It's like 120. So like the cost that it would have like costed him to go from like here straight to the UK, him going to Iceland first and then finessing going to UK after that, he's like paying the same price.
Yeah.
And he gets to go to one more country. So it's like I'm telling you, bro, there's so many cheat codes to this. The buddy pass method, the going to a smaller country and then finessing to go where you really want. It's like, man, this traveling stuff, I feel like once you really get into it, there's like a bunch of things like, all right, man, there's ways you could finesse it and figure it out, even if you don't have all the bread. You could figure it out if you really want to do it.
That's the one tough thing about being in Minnesota though, is flights are so expensive anywhere because we're dead smack in the middle. Like from New York to Portugal, I think I saw flights in the fall for like $350, like $400.
You gotta hit it, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go for sure. I'm going for sure.
So y'all use Student Universe?
Yeah, I've looked at it.
Bro, tell me why whenever I get the chance and I'm on Student Universe, it's giving me like a random ticket, but like all the tickets that are like super cheap are like the same cost that you would pay for like a buddy pass. They're all either going out of like New Jersey, New York, Chicago. So like when you talk about like tickets being super expensive and being cooked, like when you're in Minnesota and wanting to fly out, it's like, bro, it is like you're better off like living in one of those states and trying to fly out because like you'll always get a good deal.
Yeah.
Or like just buying your tickets from there and just somehow getting there and flying out from there because it's like you'll pay like half the price and you'll always get like a solid deal. So that's another method. Student Universe, shout out.
So another method is the credit cards. Credit cards, man. Nah, we should bring in Noor. You need to talk to Noor at some point too. Even the credit card game, like I was like, I'm staying away from credit cards. I'm not doing it. He's like, oh, this is how you do it. You get the points right here. You call them up here. They're gonna have you in the lounge. Like we went, the three of us, we went to Mexico. 4 of us actually. It was me, him, Noor, and his cousin for spring break. Man, he had us in all types of like lounges and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, Noor, how much you want me to pay you so we can?" So everything's free, like everything's good. We're in there eating food, free drinks. I bring you everything out. I'm like,
Wi-Fi there.
That was the most comfortable. I was laying on the airport like this on my laptop eating for free.
I never knew they had lounges like that.
It's just hidden. It's tucked off.
Hidden, yeah, for real. Like you gotta really have your secrets to find those lounges sometimes. You gotta.
Yeah. But yeah.
Definitely an experience. Last question. We're gonna wrap it up. We don't want to hold you up for too long. You know you're a very busy individual. Both of you guys actually. What are some ways that you guys like to distress? You know, since it's finals time, you know, a lot of people don't be stressed out about, you know, finals, which is, you know, expected, but you know, it's very important to find ways to, you know, just vibe. That's what I like to say.
I feel like if I didn't have work after this, I would be going with you guys after this. I would be doing like the yes, bro. Like, cause I've always wanted to do that, and like the closest thing that I've done to like cause like you guys are doing like the combo, it's like the sauna and the cold plunge.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever done was like the sauna, and then the other one, the steam room.
Yep.
I like the steam room a lot.
I've never done a steam room.
The steam room is tough.
It's
so
tough.
tough.
Like, it clears your whole body, bro. Really? I don't know, like you know, like the little vapor max thing that you can put on. It's like damn near like that, yeah. But it's like in your whole body. So if we're talking like de-stress, that's like a whole nother, bro. We could do shout outs like this whole entire body. That's at Malcolm Yards. You guys are going, right?
No. It's a place called Embrace North.
Shout out shit. Shout out Embrace North.
Have you been to 9th Street Soccer or coffee? No.
Put me on to everything.
Okay.
Put me on to everything. I'm taking notes, bro. I'm taking mental notes, bro. Is that another one? Is that what's it called? Like the little sauna and like the.
No, 9th Street Soccer is a cool. It's actually a really cool concept. It's a coffee shop, but then it's connected to an indoor pitch. So they have like two like 5-on-5 fields in there too. Yeah, soccer. So people pull up, play, drink coffee, chill.
I'm not gonna lie. Like most sports, I'm a bandwagon. If we're talking UFC, like I'm a fiend, bro. Like I was one of those kids who was like betting on UFC fights, making like the fake account saying I was 18 when I was like 16, so I could like bet all my little paychecks and stuff. Like we're not doing that no more because I took a couple of big L's when I was in my teenage years. So it's like I got PTSD from all that sports betting. But I'm a crazy UFC guy. But
y'all don't watch Champions League? Oh man, I gotta get into soccer, bro.
I got to. But I haven't seen the de-stress thing. Speaking about de-stress. Tangent to the side, I would do that with y'all, the cold plunge and the sauna stuff. I would check out like the soccer coffee stuff because I seen like an Instagram out of it, like I think once. Now that I think about it, but like me personally, y'all always see me around. I got like my little skateboard, my cruiser board, like literally, bro. Like days like this, exactly, like just doing stuff where it's like quality time with you. I'm telling you, bro. Like I feel like a lot of the times, man, I feel like we can get into the habit of the only way I can enjoy my time is when I'm with friends or I'm like around people at events and things like that. But I feel like once you find something that you enjoy to do, a hobby, and it's something that just involves you and it's something maybe that you could build on like skateboarding, or maybe it's art and it's something that you can continue to build on, but it's something that you always like selfishly have for yourself. It gives you the chance to, okay, this is what I'm de-stressing on. This is something I can see my personal progression on. And it's not necessarily like the same as, I'm progressing in a career or something. It's just like a personal hobby that I'm progressing on. I can see the more time that I put into it, and it's like it grows as you grow. So for me, that's just like skating around. It's kickboxing. It's just things that I enjoy selfishly doing for myself. And I would recommend that to anyone, whatever that's music or whatever that is for you. Just having something that you just selfishly keep for yourself, an individual sport, an individual, just something for you where it's like you could see yourself grow with that, whatever that is for you, your art or your music. So that's me, man. Just my little skateboard and my kickboxing. Okay. I see myself.
I'm getting inspired. I might have to get me a skateboard. Slide around New York.
I'll put you on, bro. Come on, New York is like the best spot to do it at, for real.
For me, I would say I used to be big on the steam room this year until like maybe March. Like once March hit, I feel like after spring break, I just got too busy. I'm like, I don't have time to be doing that. But I used to go in the steam room and I really work on my breathing because I feel like that's how I can stay in longer. But outside of that, honestly, just spending time with my girl. Like when we going out on days, going out to eat, just talking with her. Like she's one of the few people in the world that I feel like understands all the aspects of me, and I can just tell her what I'm going through. She's supportive, so definitely having that support. Outside of that, I like watching a lot of documentaries too. I feel like I can kind of just.
Put me on with some documentaries, man. I'm a big documentary guy.
Okay, I really watch stuff on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, I watch like a lot of Vice and just try to get more informed on what's going on in the world. And I feel like sometimes that helps me too because I'm so stressed about maybe a class and I learn, so and so people are going through this. So I'm like, all right, just keep it in perspective. And, yeah. So.
Man, those were real good points, man. But ways I de-stress on the smaller scale, I like working out. I work out every day. Not every day. Sure, every weekday, to say that. I've been getting into running a lot more lately. That's taught me a lot, man. Just taking everything. Here's what I tell myself every time I'm running. Like if I'm doing like long, I say I'm gonna take it mile by mile.
Mhm.
Just like how you gotta take each day, day by day. You can't worry about January 16th because that's so far away. You gonna forget about all the days before that day. So taking it day by day, just um, let myself know that I can't do nothing about tomorrow, and tomorrow can't do nothing about today. You know what I'm saying? I just made that up, top of the dome. But on a bigger scale, I feel like traveling is the best way to de-stress, bro. Because I went to France and Italy and during spring breaking, bro. Just doing whatever you want to do, like hopping on like a 4 hour train ride and not having to worry about doing something later. It's just like no better way, in my opinion.
I got a question about
No stress free.
I got this question because just like listening to David Goggins online, honestly, do you feel like it's cheating to listen to music while you're running, or in order to really, really lock in, take it mile by mile, you just gotta go straight, just mental, or is music cheating?
I used to run with no music, but now I've been just putting music in, bro. Cause I'm doing longer runs now, like 10 mile plus. So.
10 mile plus. Sheesh.
So I don't need it because I honestly use the music as a cue. Cause like on average a song is what 3 minutes, right? Yeah. I could get like a mile if it's a longer run. I do a mile in about 7:30, 8 if it's a slower run. So I'll say okay, these 2 songs pass, that's a mile. You know what I'm saying? So it helps me just kind of stay grounded. But to be honest, I really don't pay attention to the music unless it's a real hard song.
You feel like you make it more meditation now more than anything, or
Yeah.
is it exercise for you for real?
It's both. Like I don't even be thinking about the health benefits. To be honest, man, it's just when you get started, bro, you just keep going. I got a half. I'm running a half marathon in June.
All right.
That's grandma's marathon. So yes, in Duluth. So I'm be out there in June. But it's just more so about challenge. I like challenging myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I set out a goal to do Goldies run. That was in April.
Mhm.
Throughout it was around the UML.
Oh, I think my brother-in-law ran that too.
Oh yeah, man,
How
that was
was it?
tough, bro.
But was that the day? It was like really
Yes,
windy. It was cold.
yes, bro. We was running up hills, bro.
Yeah.
It was so tough, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
But that was in April this year.
It was in April.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, bro. No, we talking about Goldies,
Oh, no, I think he did it last year. That's what I'm thinking of. But it was cold and windy that day too.
bro. It was so tough. It was just around the UFM campus. Yeah, we ran up and down like East River. Yeah. It was a tough run. It was a tough run, man. I started questioning things, but I made it through.
Feel like that arthritis start kicking in.
Man, bro, running up those hills is crazy, bro. Dirt with the wind in your face, and it's wet. Oh man, I started questioning what I was doing it, but it's a marathon, bro. You gonna finish one way or another. So I got it done. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. Any last thoughts, last little comments that y'all want to say?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I would say you cool if I close it out. Cool if I close it out. All right. Well, I would say appreciate y'all for tuning in to the SBM podcast. This is the last podcast of the year. I've been a part of like 2 so far. You've been a part of 2. This is our reshoot actually with Shalom. So appreciate you for taking the time and coming back to do it justice, do it right, do it better this time, better quality. And yeah, stay tuned. I've enjoyed doing it. I've enjoyed the process of making these so far and seeing my other board members commit to their episodes and making theirs. And I feel like it gives everyone an opportunity to see other boards and everyone's personalities beyond just what you see on maybe like the Instagram page, but to really get to know us personally. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Looking forward to some episodes in the future.
And just to end it off, for the people who did, get this far, we appreciate you guys. But I'm gonna give some wisdom as a senior because I feel like I can't give that wisdom now. But I'm graduating pretty soon, and one thing I would like to say for everybody who's going through their college career is to really embrace these 4 years. This is a real good time for you to like really set up your future. You could really put yourself in a really good spot within these 4 years. So some advice that I would give to you, and this unsolicited, I know y'all didn't ask for it, but I'm still gonna give it to you guys. I would definitely say network.
Speak on it.
Definitely network is super important. I feel like if you network with the right individuals, you could be put in spots that others wouldn't be put in, right? I would also say to really embrace, internships and trying to, obtain those internships early in your college career. So, sophomore year, that's a really good time to get ahead and get your first internship, because a lot of people go into their internship thoughts, or a lot of people just get their first internships in during their junior year, right? But if you could get one during your sophomore year, it looks a lot better on your resume, and it gives you an extra year of work experience that you could use to obtain another internship. And the final advice I would give is to really embrace these 4 years. Like, enjoy, your friends that you have. Go out, do things that you would want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, travel, study abroad. Yeah, it might be expensive, but at the end of the day, if you play your cards right, there's a lot of funding out there that could support you with it. So, really embrace these 4 years, because you're not ever gonna get these 4 years back. And then after you graduate, you're right into the real world. A lot of the mistakes that you make are magnified. You can make mistakes in college, and you could just throw it under the rug. But um, as you graduate, the mistakes that you make can really have a big impact on your future outlook. So yeah, that's the unsolicited advice I want to give everybody. Anything else y'all want to say?
That's it.
Congratulations to the class of 2024.
Yeah.
Two gentlemen here today, and everyone watching from home. Shout out to y'all, man. Congratulations.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right, we're gonna wrap it up.
Cool. Thank you for having me. I appreciate y'all willing to reshoot it too and
Bro,
get it done.
bro, I'm actually so glad that we shared the process. I feel like a better way. And then, at least now when your parents see it, like, bro, it's not like it's like this dark ass little conference room. It actually like looks better, like the quality. Like,